Welcome to our lecture online. Let's work out this example to get a better idea what the gradient of a function is. So we're given a function in the three dimensions x, y, and z, 2x squared plus 3y squared plus z squared, and we're supposed to find the gradient of the function at that particular point, 2, 1, 3, in the direction of the vector a, which is I minus 2k. So here we're trying to find the change of the function at a particular point in space, in a particular direction, in the direction of the vector given. So we're going to start out by finding the gradient of that particular function. So we have the gradient operator operating on the function, and we'll get the following result. So this is equal to I times, and typically we write I last, so let me go ahead and do that. So we take the partial derivative of this, which is 4x. So we get 4x in the I direction, plus 6y in the j direction, plus 2z in the k direction. So that gives us the gradient of the function. This gives us a vector quantity that tells us how much the function changes as we change in the x, in the y, and in the z direction. But now we want to evaluate that at a particular point. So we can now say that the gradient of that function, with the function being evaluated at 2, 1, and 3, is equal to 4 times x, which in this case is 2 in the I direction, plus 6 times 1 in the j direction, plus, let's see here, 2 times z, and z is 3 in the k direction. So that gives us a gradient of 8i plus 6j plus 6k. So that again gives us the change of the function in the x direction, in the y direction, in the z direction at that particular point 2, 1, 3. But now we want to find the change in the function when we change in the direction of that particular vector. So what we're going to do is we're going to find the unit vector of that, and then we're going to take the dot product, which means the component of the gradient in the same direction as the unit vector of a, which therefore is in the same direction as a. The reason why we need the unit vector is because we don't want to execute a dot product with a vector and then have a magnitude other than 1 associated with the change in the function. Otherwise we get something that's not right to change. So let's first find unit vector like this in the a direction is equal to the a vector divided by the magnitude of the vector. So this is equal to, we have I minus 2k, and we're going to divide that by the magnitude, which is the square root of 1 squared plus a minus 2 squared. You can see that is equal to the square root of 5. So this is equal to 1 over the square root of 5 in the I direction minus 2 over the square root of 5 in the k direction. The k would be the z direction. All right, so now that we have the unit vector a, now we can go ahead and do the dot product. So now we take the gradient of f, and we do that a dot product with the unit vector a. That will give us the change in the function in the direction of a. So this gives us, and of course we take the gradient of the function at that particular location, not the general gradient, but at the point 2, 1, 3. And so that gives us 8i plus 6j plus 6k. And then we do the dot product with the unit vector a, which is 1 over the square root of 5 in the I direction minus 2 over the square root of 5 in the k direction. And so when we do that, notice we multiply these two, so that gives us 8 divided by the square root of 5. And of course, I times I is 1. The j cancels out because there's no j counterpart, and now we get minus 6 times 2, that would be minus 12, divided by the square root of 5. And notice that gives us a change in the function of minus 4 divided by the square root of 5. That's the amount of change in the function at this particular location, at that point, in the direction of the a vector. And so that's how we use the gradient of a function and apply it to finding the change in the function in any direction using this method. That's what we mean by the gradient operator.